I'm Robert, and welcome to another Blumenthal Behind the Scenes. This is our holiday edition, and we're here in the Booth Playhouse, or what I like to think of might be Charlotte's best little movie theater. And as you can see, we've got it configured for comfortable socially distanced seating for watching holiday movies. This is a great example of some of the flexibility that our Booth Playhouse has. This can be seating, this can be a stage, this could be seating around a stage. In fact, we've even put a piano right here in the middle of the audience chamber and put the audience all the way around it. This is just a great example of the kind of flexibility we're starting to really utilize here in the Booth Playhouse. But let's go to this thing you really want to see, and that's behind the scenes. Come on. Watch your head and stuff in here, especially right here. Welcome to the Booth Playhouse grid. If you've seen our tour of the Belk, you'll notice this looks an awful lot like the Belk, except it's reversed. So everything that would have been on the right side in the Belk is on the left side in the Booth. But equally as capable, just maybe not quite as large. Also, once again, I've picked a location that our camera person is absolutely terrified of going. So you might notice that I'm not actually that close to the camera. We left the camera person back over there on slightly more solid ground. So we'll try to go to someplace a little less terrifying next, and a little closer to the ground. Welcome to the Booth Fly Rail. Just like in the Belk and in the Night, we've got a full fly system here in the Booth Playhouse, and just like in the Belk, this one's above the ground. We are stage left, about 30 feet from the deck, and in the Belk, this would be the same thing, a little larger, and on the other side of the stage. Now, unlike in the Night Theater, where the locking rail is actually located on stage, these are both elevated, and that's to save space. Both in the Belk and the Booth, there's not a lot of wing space on the side that the fly rail is on, and so the locking rail is elevated up to free up space on deck. And as you can see, we've got everything you would expect to see in one of our larger venues, and just like in those, if I were to pull down on this rope, it would make something go in towards the stage, and if I were to pull down on the other rope, it would make that same thing go away from the stage. So, let's head out to the Follow Spot booth. Well, we've traveled far, and we are now in the equipment room and follow spot booth for the Booth Playhouse. And just like in our other venues, which have follow spots, so does the booth, except they're a little bit smaller than maybe the ones we saw in the Belk and in the Night. One thing I almost forgot, we always talk about when we go to the follow spot booth, and people often ask this, what are the follow spots named? Well, this one's Rick, and the one on the other side is Morty. This is also the equipment room for the Booth Playhouse, so all of the audio and control systems are located in here. And here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. This building opened in roughly 1992, and at the time, sitting right here, there would have been a large reel-to-reel tape player, and that would have been used for playing back sound effects for theatrical productions. Well, you can see somebody chalked right here on the side of this rack, and we've left it all these years later, some information about different spindle sizes of tape, so that they had it here as a quick reference. And fun fact, nothing to do with the Booth Playhouse, but the original version of Phantom of the Opera, when it toured, things that were played back during the performance, like sound effects, were done with reel-to-reel tape. We've sure come a long way to racks full of blinking lights and computers. Well, let's head out to the catwalks you see here, and we'll take a quick look from there at what it looks like from the catwalks looking towards the stage. Well, here we are, we're out in the catwalks over the audience chamber, and I know I said in the last section that we were going to come out here, but I forgot once again that our poor terrified camera person is terrified of heights, and the floors out here are made of the same stuff as the grid. So I'm out here by myself. But much like our other venues that have catwalks over the audience chamber, you can see these function much the same, except they're a little bit different. You notice they're kind of in a horseshoe shape. And that's to match the area below, and there's also catwalks going directly over the audience chamber. And again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the booth was really meant to be used in a variety of different configurations, whether that be in the round or stage in the audience chamber. And so these catwalks were built with that intention in mind, which is why they look very different from the ones in the other venues. But enough about technical stuff. I can't wait to show you something a lot of folks haven't seen yet, and that's the new Booth Playhouse lobby. Let's go. Well, we've reached the end of our tour, and here we are in the booth lobby. And a lot of you haven't had a chance to see this yet, As you can see, the elves have been busy. We've got a new floor, new cabinets and casework in the box office, house manager's area, and bars, and some new color schemes. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another installment of our Behind the Scenes series. I'm Robert, and this has been a real pleasure to get to do these. Please let us know if there's other behind the scenes things you'd like to see. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and we can't wait until we can see all of you right here again.